Okay, so welcome to MBD Blogs then. We're going to do something a little bit different on this. In fact, we're going to do 7 videos filmed back to back straight away, and they will be uploaded and live for you guys, one a day this week for 6 days, because I get a day off eventually, and that's just how it's going to work. So this first video, as you might have been able to guess by the title, is going to be talking about a DJ retirement age. And this is kind of a bit of a touchy subject with some people, but I guess it's one that has got to be addressed a little bit to do with the entertainment industry. You know, there's people that work in the entertainment industry right the way up until they die, and most of them you'll find are able to do that because they are good at what they do. You've got some people in the industry that work up until they die that you kind of just, you want them to die early because they're not that great at what they do. One of the perfect examples at the moment is the one who does the dancing, oh god, what is it now? He works on the BBC. But Bruce Forsyth, anyway, he works on, it's not Dancing on Ice, it's basically like Dancing with the Stars, but it's the English version of it, right? Okay, so it's that kind of show. Now, he is, you know, he's been this magnificent entertainer in his time. You know, he can do the tap dance and he can tell god-awful jokes. You know, he can hold a crowd just by talking to them. He was a great entertainer. And what I've found with a lot of people these days is they go, he's too old to be doing that job. He's not funny anymore. He can't do the tap dancing. He's lost it. But he still carries on working in the industry, and I don't know why the BBC keep him on, but they apparently do. So I guess it is kind of time that we talked about, you know, should there be a retirement age in this industry? And if so, what should the retirement age be? And how will you know when you're ready for retirement? Because, I mean, let's face some basic facts here. Most DJs and entertainers that you're going to find work on a self-employed basis. Now, when you work on a self-employed basis, officially speaking, there is no official retirement age. You know, there is no time when someone's going to turn around to you and go, no, you're too old to be working, here's your pension, off you fuck. It's not going to happen. I need to redo that, don't I? I guess when it comes to the entertainment industry, you know, you're going to find that there's many DJs and mobile entertainers and singers and that sort of thing who kind of work on a self-employed basis. And when you work on a self-employed basis, there is no time when someone in charge is going to turn around and go, no, you're too old to be doing this now, here's your pension, off you go. And I guess it's kind of ways of going, well, am I too old to be doing this? Because I know for me, doing the sort of entertaining that I do, where you're out doing the kids' parties and you've got the kids' dances and the kids' games and all that sort of thing, there is certainly an age where it is too old to be doing that, you know? I mean, no one's seen a granddad doing Agadoo on stage holding a crowd of about 80 kids. So a way for you to genuinely look at this, and I know that this is something that we've spoken about doing in quite a few of the MBD Blogs videos, but is to ask for feedback of people, you know, and don't be afraid of saying, do you think I'm too old to be doing this? I mean, if you ask someone face to face, or you ask someone drunk, they're more than likely just going to go, no, you're fine, you're dead good. And then later on you'll find out. So it might be best if there's a little bit of paperwork involved in that. But, you know, you can sort of get the truth out from people. One of the things to also do is to understand the health risks to you and your guests at an event. And this is something which even I've had to concentrate on recently, because I've not had the kind of perfect health. And it has literally been to that point where it's going, I am kind of not able to do it. You know, if someone called me up and they wanted me to do a gig right now, I'd have to turn them down, because there is no way that I could manage doing that full setup by myself. So I guess the same would apply if I got to being like 60 years old or something like that. You know, can I really be lifting up these big heavy speakers onto the pole as high as they'll go? You know, can I really be doing that? And then, you know, a full like 2 or 3 hour set, and then taking it all down again, and then putting it into a car, and you know, it's a lot of work, and you've really got to think, can I actually do that? You know, is there going to be a risk to me? But is there also going to be a risk to people as well? You know, it's quite common, the fact that as you get older, your eyesight is going to go a little bit worse than it has been. And possibly, could that be an effective thing? Could that have an effect on your setups, for example? Are you going to put your equipment in a dangerous position where speakers can fall on people? Because I genuinely have seen that happen, and as hilarious as it is, you do have to kind of wonder at times. That was a funny night. Ask yourself again how long you can go on doing it. When you kind of are doing the role itself, which I guess I kind of just covered in that little point then, but I've got these notes to go through, and by the power invested in me, I'm going to get through them. But yeah, again, ask yourself, can you actually do that role? And if so, how much longer for? Do you have back problems now that you didn't have years ago? Has technology changed and you've not been able to keep up? Are you playing the right sort of music? Is your hearing going? These are valid questions. The next part, of course, as you know with these videos, is Ask MBD. Now, it has to be said, the fact that, we have been quite quiet on the blogs recently, and for quite a while, but we still do get loads of questions in, and if you'd like to ask us a question, feel free to inbox us on this YouTube channel, inbox us on our Facebook page, tweet us, do whatever you want. All the information that you need is going to be in the video description bit below. Go and check it out and get in touch with us if you've got a question, and it genuinely doesn't have to be about anything that we've spoken about in these blogs. So long as it's to do with the entertainment industry and that sort of thing, then of course we can try and help you out on that. Okay, so I'm finding this really hard to read, and this genuinely isn't down to my eyesight or my age. It's the fact that this camera has got lights on it and they're evil to my eyes. Where do you get your music from? This is something that I think kind of near enough all DJs and entertainers get asked at one point or another, is where do you get your music from? I personally get my music from the internet. There is a lot of downloads, there's a lot of different sites that I use. It's from all over the place. But I don't just download music because I've got a gig. I download music a lot because I want to listen to that sort of music. And, I guess when I go and do performances, a lot of the music that I play is based on what I would normally have at home as a personal collection, rather than actually taking it with me to purposely go and play that song. I would presume that other DJs would be like that themselves, but there's just no way of telling unless you actually ask that DJ themselves. Is it more professional to have I can't even read what this says. Is it more professional to have a theme song or a big advert at a gig? It depends. The theme song, I've tried a few over the past couple of years, and one of them was all right. The second one was, I can't even remember who did it now. Basically, it was from a Disney show, one of their live entertainment shows, and it was really good, and it had in it this kind of like 20-second segment where you can introduce yourself, and where I was based at the time, I was doing a lot of regular work there, so I knew the bar staff and I knew the managers and that sort of thing, so I could also introduce them, and that worked out great. A big advert, you might well be referring to like a banner or something there, then it's going to promote you at the end of the day. People are going to see the name and that sort of thing. It's kind of just like the same as if you went round to all the tables and put business cards out. You're going to kind of drum up the same sort of business. So it's genuinely how you play it. If you're going to play an advert every 30 seconds saying, with your number on and getting people to ring in, that sort of thing, well, yeah, maybe that's going to get a little bit too much on the kind of self-promotion thing. But, it's one of them. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Give it a try. Where can I rehearse my gig setup before a gig and not much cost? I personally use a laptop, so kind of rehearsals for me are a little bit easy. There is a great website called Ustream I do kind of a lot of live mixing on there and that sort of thing, just having to play around, and people who listen are more than welcome to request songs, so that's kind of good for finding out what people actually want to listen to and how often they want to listen to it. I guess if you were like an entertainer wanting to do party dances, or if you're in a band and you wanted to play, you're going to kind of have to look at what space you've got at home. I'm quite lucky in the fact that the living room that I've got is quite big, so it's not so bad for me to, just move the furniture a little bit, and then I've got all the space that I need to go and rehearse whatever party dances it is that I need to rehearse. But if you're, a big 15-piece band, well, you're possibly going to have a look at hiring some sort of space there. As far as hiring spaces go, it depends where you live and how much the place charges, but you probably would find that there would be some like halls or function room, that sort of thing, that like during the day they've nothing on, they might let you have the room at a cheaper rate. You never know. It's just a case of finding out these things. How long does it take to become a DJ? It depends how good you want to be at being a DJ. I guess when it comes to being a DJ, there is always new tricks. There is always something changing with that job. So it's kind of one of them, if you get the basics of it sorted, and that can take anything from a couple of weeks to years practice, and then, if you get the basics sorted of it, then you've only got to keep up with the changes, and probably the biggest change in being a DJ is going to be the music. So as long as you keep on top of that, then you are good to go. Why would a stranger want to be a DJ? I genuinely have no idea. It's possibly one of the strangest jobs. Certainly got the strangest working hours, but is possibly one of the most, not financially, but certainly one of the most rewarding jobs mentally and even physically in some cases. So yeah, it has its bonuses, is what I was going to say, but apparently I developed a stammer instead. What should I do if my equipment breaks during a gig? I think this is something that we've addressed in another video that we did, but basically have a backup plan ready, and if you don't have a backup plan ready, go home. That's basically all I can say with it, obviously DJs aren't going to go around with two setups, because that wouldn't make sense, but you've got to be prepared for certain things to break. Like years ago when I was using the halogen bulbs in the disco lights, well, you'd always take a spare set of bulbs with you, because them bulbs would often break. Now obviously I'm not going to go around with LED panels and all that sort of thing. Speaker parts are always going to go, but I'm not going to carry them around with me, because the likelihood of them going is slim to none. So it's just basically, it depends on what part you're thinking is going to go, and just testing your equipment whenever you can. If it's not been used for a while, get it out and give it a good test, and just see how it goes and that sort of thing. And obviously do regular maintenance checks as well. Like, don't be afraid to open up your equipment and just have a little look at what's going on inside. Although officially I've not said that, so you didn't hear that from me. What should I do if I can't understand a person who's asking for a song or something? Ask them to repeat it. And if you've asked them a couple of times to repeat it, do what I do, and it's like, yeah. And then to move on. That is a problem that I've had. I mean, obviously, I work around drunk people, so the chances are you're not going to be able to understand everyone at a gig. But as long as you're polite about it, these people aren't going to mind if you just say, I'm really sorry, I didn't catch what you said. And if you don't understand them, keep asking until you do, or just see how it goes, see how you handle a situation. But speaking of handling situations, that is it for this video. So join us tomorrow for another video, and I will see you then in my lovely hat. Thanks. Bye.